Alright, hello. So today we're going to be going through the just an Instagram bot built with JavaScript and Node and Puppeteer. So what is Puppeteer? Puppeteer is a JavaScript library that allows you to control a headless Chrome browser. So this is simulating a user clicking around on a normal Chrome browser as if you were just, visiting Instagram to go check your feed. It'll look and feel exactly the same elements will pop up, and that's what headless Chrome is just a Chromium based browser that doesn't have a full browser UI so that it can be controlled by software. Today we're going to be going through and building a simple Instagram bot that will go to a specified user and grab all of the links from their profile for photos and like all of them. So this is the mess of commands that we're going to be dealing with today. So first thing you're going to want to do is just npm init. That will initialize your Node process. If you haven't downloaded Node, go through download Node. Make sure that when you type into your console Node, you've got this little thing popped up. You could do 4+4. You get something like that. Works out. And then this string of commands here, I'll link it in the description so you could just copy paste it. But essentially it'll install a library called dotenv so that we can use environmental variable files. Puppeteer, which is what we'll be primarily using, puppeteer-extra, and puppeteer-extra-plugin-stealth. Now we're going to be using the plugin stealth just because I ran into a few issues of the content not loading when I was going to a page. So just to assure that everything's good, we're going to try to disguise ourselves. And so the first thing that we want to do is initialize the Puppeteer library and make it so that we can use Puppeteer. And by doing const, which is creating a variable, Puppeteer, just whatever variable name you would like, and then require puppeteer-extra. And then create the plugin using the same require syntax, then puppeteer.use plugin stealth, and call that function. Alright, now that we got that all set up, go through and actually get into some Puppeteer stuff. So all of the Puppeteer method calls must be in an async function. These return promises, so those need to be fulfilled, or else you'll have just a ton of issues. It's really kind of frustrating to debug, in my opinion, a bunch of async stuff, but we'll be going through it. Alright, actually it looks like I made a mistake here. This is supposed to be browser, not Puppeteer. But so what you want to do is create a variable called browser, and this will launch the browser by doing await. That's the keyword that you're going to see non-stop throughout this, puppeteer.launch. And that will launch up a headless browser. And if you want to actually, like when you're initially working on your project, you'll want to see what the bot sees. So by that you can pass an object in with the headless attribute set to false. And that will make it so that when you launch the project, you can actually see where you are and see what's happening, see all the photos that you're liking. And the second thing we're going to want to do is create this page element. So by creating a page, this essentially makes a new tab in your headless Chromium browser. By that, you want to create page. You can name this P, you can name this, something extra long if you want, but we're going to be using it all the time. I feel page is pretty representative of what it's doing and what it is, so I'm just going to stick with that. That's what the Puppeteer documentation uses as well, so it might help with debugging. So await browser dot new page. And that just opens up a new tab. And then this go to, this is the one that will be, you'll see quite a lot as well. So this will just search and go to a specified URL. So right here, I just have it going to my personal site and await. So, that will be in front of everything. Page.goto, and then whatever your URL is. And then click. So this one will just simulate a click. Same thing as if I, went into any of these programs and just clicked. And what you do to specify an element is pass in a CSS or document selector. So, SVG with the attribute of this, if there was a class of photo that you wanted to click on, then you can type dot photo, just like you would do with most other things. I'm going to leave it as like. And the type. So this will select an element, page.type, the element selector. So here we're finding a input with the name of username, and then we're typing in Ethan_Olson, and this is the options, and this will make it so then between each type there is a 20 millisecond delay. This can help with spoofing real user interaction. So if you're getting blocked because it looks like you're just jamming on your keyboard immediately or anything like that, might help to add this delay. Also, if you're running tests on a site that you built and you wanted to test like the anti-botting features that you've implemented to try to catch these delays, then this can really help out. And the wait fors. So these are also going to be used quite often, especially the wait for navigation is very important when we're developing the login, because you'll have to make sure that your headless browser is authenticated so you can actually go to the site. If you don't wait for the authentication to take place, then you won't be able to like anybody's photos, and you'll still have the login in the upper right hand corner. And wait for timeout. This will just wait for a specified amount of time. Here it's all in milliseconds, so here it's just 1 second. And wait for selector will wait until a selector is in the document object manager and that you can actually read from it and interact with the element. So, you want to make sure that the input name or the input with the name of username is actually there before you try to click on it and type. Because if you don't do that, then your wait promise will throw an error and throw you back to your program not working. And finally, we got the selector elements or element selectors, and this will return an array of node lists. Essentially, you just have to parse any of this. We will be using it for pulling href attributes so that we can navigate to other pages. And there is also, forgot this one, const photo equals await page dot x dot, whatever x path that you have there. And an x path, you can go to those by, let me just pull up the Gatsby starter library page. If I wanted to go through here and let's say select this H5, then I can go to the H5, right click, copy XPath, and then we can roll back to our page here and just paste that in. And essentially it just gives a very specific path to navigate to. And that is most of what we're going to be using. I may add in a couple other elements in here and there, but that will primarily be what we'll be using. I'll be sure to link up all of this stuff, the what to do commands, the whole Git repository. Be sure to download all of the Node stuff. I know that Chromium will take a little bit to download, so you want to make sure that you've got that all going before you start it up. And just to end it off, I'll show you what the final program looks like. So we'll do node instabot.js and run it. And look at that, that's the page.goto. Navigating there, new page, browser, opening up the tab, everything typed in there. And then it will navigate to CDA Spider-Man. I have it pulling all of that. And before it goes to some weird person's page, I'm just going to exit out of it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you in the next video.